Are we getting a Kinect for the Series X? Are these the most expensive Xbox headphones ever? 60 FPS may be coming to Cyberpunk on your Series S, and if you own an Xbox One, I got some bad news for you. My giveaway is also live down in the description. You'll find a link with instructions on how you can win your very own Series X from me. Let's discuss. So I have to offer my condolences to anyone who is gaming on an Xbox One still. Today, February 17th, Lawnmower Simulator was supposed to be coming to Xbox One consoles as well as Game Pass. But unfortunately, it is being delayed. Now, you can play Lawn Mowing Simulator on your Series X, your Series S, PC, and cloud gaming. And if you're on Xbox One, you can play Lawn Mowing Simulator via the cloud, but that's not ideal, right? If you want to play it natively, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. We got an update via Xbox Wire saying, Lawn Mowing Simulator's launch on Xbox One has unfortunately been delayed, and it will not be coming on February 17th as stated. However, the game is still available right now with PC Game Pass, Xbox Series X and S with Game Pass, cloud gaming, and will be launching on Xbox One as soon as it's ready. Devastating, I know, absolutely devastating, and what's worse is that we have no idea when Lawn Mowing Simulator is coming to Xbox One. Okay, so if you haven't picked up on it yet, I am being a little bit sarcastic with this topic here. No offense to any of the simulator games out there, Flight Simulator, Car Wash Simulator, Thief Simulator. My wife in particular loves those type of games. There's something really satisfying about just turning your brain off and vegging out and pretending like you're washing a car. My wife in particular loves watching Markiplier play those types of games while she plays Wordle. Not that I'm jealous or anything, you know, I'm a YouTuber too. What's the difference, right? Just a couple 100 million subscribers between the two of us? Yeah, it's no big deal. I wanted to highlight this though because it just kind of goes along with a sort of weird series of events for Game Pass in the past couple of weeks. Now, in the last video, we talked about Crossfire X and how much a debacle the launch was. They said in their advertising when they launched Crossfire X that you would have access to one of the campaigns, Operation Catalyst, on Game Pass. And when the game launched, you were not able to play that campaign. It was this weird glitch going on with the Microsoft Store. Some craziness was happening. It was just not a good look overall. In addition to that, February's other offerings earlier in this month left a lot of people a little bit underwhelmed, and it just seems weird that they were not able to deliver on such a seemingly small promise of bringing Lawn Mowing Simulator to Xbox One consoles on Game Pass. Hopefully they can turn it around a little bit. Madden 2022 is coming today as well. Mass Effect is getting cloud gaming support, and Total War Warhammer 3 is coming to PC Game Pass. In their review of Warhammer 3, Wired called the game the culmination of the finest strategy series ever made, and that is a hill I am willing to die on. And given all that stuff on the way, in the second half of February for Game Pass, I think that's more than enough to make up for not having Lawn Mowing Simulator on Xbox One consoles. Is it enough to make up for the debacle that was Crossfire X? I'm not sure. I'm personally satisfied. So we talked a little bit about this in my last video, but the next-gen version of Cyberpunk 2077 is finally out, and people are generally pretty pleased with the improvements. I myself got to play it on stream last night, and I had a really good time with it. And if you're interested in coming to hang out with me while I play any of these games, my Twitch is twitch.tv/XboxReady. The big story with this update was that even though it was this next-gen patch, the Series S still couldn't get to 60 FPS, while the Series X and the PS5 could. The Series X also has ray tracing mode, whereas the Series S does not. Now, whenever a story like this pops up saying that the Series S is graphically behind the other two consoles, I always think to myself, well, of course, you know, it's a Series S. It is not nearly as powerful as those other two consoles. I'm not sure what we were expecting, but I get that it's a hot button issue, something that people are very passionate about. The Series S can run 60 frames per second on other games, so it is kind of like, what's going on? A prominent member of the Cyberpunk team actually said that they would look into bringing 60 FPS to the Series S. In a forum on the CD Projekt Red website, the global community director said this: "We are also looking into the possibility of introducing the following request, but at the moment we don't have any details to share. PS4 and PS5 trophies transfer, and raising FPS cap on the Xbox Series S. For the two above, we are investigating our options, but don't know if this will be possible, and if so, in the case of trophies, if it could happen retroactively." Now, I know the vagueness of that response is a little bit of a bummer, or if you don't care about resolution or frame rates, maybe it's not a bummer, right? It was pointed out to me by some of my followers that some people, they just want to play the game. They don't really care too much about how it looks. They don't want to nitpick at the resolution, at the frame rates, at the motion blur, and things like that. Now, even though the Series X can't reach 60 frames on Cyberpunk, it still comes with a lot of the next-gen updates that they threw in, like the new guns, like the new and updated gameplay, like the improved AI and crowd interactions that weren't in the last generation version of the game. If you're a gamer or you have any interest in tech at all, chances are you have a lot of different headphone options. I myself, I have some really cheap Skull Candy earbuds. I have a set of wireless headphones that I use for studying, listening to podcasts, put them on while I'm working. I also have a set of Audio-Technica headphones that I like to use when I'm recording voiceovers. And these new headphones from Bang & Olufsen, the Portal, promise will replace all of the headphones that you currently use. It's gonna be the only pair of headphones that you need for the rest of your life. The writers over at The Independent claim to have spent a whole week with these bad boys, and they had really awesome things to say about them. They praised, in particular, the design of the headphones. They were kind of low-key, kind of sleek, whereas gaming headphones, gaming headsets, they tend to be a little bit garish, right? A little bit flashy. Some people really like that. Some people want a little bit more low-key in design. They talked about how cool it was, where everything was touch sensitive. So if you wanted to adjust the volume, raise it up or down, all you needed to do is just touch your right ear, swipe it, and it was all good. A similar function was on the left ear, where you can control the noise cancellation. You can adjust the transparency as needed with just a flick of a finger. They said that connecting to their Xbox console, they were using an Xbox One X, was easy peasy. All they needed to do was just hit the connectivity button on the headset and then use your sync button on the Xbox, and it was buttery smooth. They also said that using the Dolby Atmos technology of the headphones was really amazing, that they preferred the headphones over their fancy soundbar setup that they actually had. You can apparently even use noise canceling when you're in game as well. So if your mom is in the background vacuuming or someone is being really loud in the kitchen, you can kind of turn off that noise and focus just on the game, man. They said the overall feeling is one of warmth, with a soundscape that is accurate and carefully delivered without ever sounding too sharp or overwhelming. Some gamers might miss the skull-thumping bass of some other headsets, but for a comfortable, balanced, and fatigue-free audio experience, the Portal does a fantastic job. So it sounds like these could be the best Xbox headphones ever. But here is the catch, and here's why I cannot get behind buying these headphones, no matter how much money I accumulate, no matter if my YouTube channel blows up and gets 10 million subscribers, millions of views every video, and that's because these headphones are priced at £445, which when you convert it to US dollars, that's $600. $600. That's way more than even the Series X, the most expensive Xbox console. Like, why do they cost more than the console you're using them with? That makes no sense to me. I don't give a crap how nice they are, how fancy they are. I just can't get behind it. Now, if you're looking for nice wireless noise canceling headphones and you want to splurge a little bit, get the Sony WH-1000 Mark III or something like that. Not these. What the heck? If you want Dolby Atmos technology, you could just get the Dolby Xbox headphones for $100. Save the $500. Somewhere in between those is the SteelSeries Arctis 7X. I mean, there's so many other options. I just cannot fathom spending $600 on a headset. So recently, Jez Corden over at Windows Central tweeted about how much he loved the Kinect and how he would love to see a third generation of the Kinect. And he loved it so much, apparently, that he wrote an entire article about how awesome the Kinect is. And I agree, I've talked about in the past on this channel how I really thought the Kinect was cool. Now, if you need a little bit of a refresher, the original Kinect launched in the middle of the Xbox 360 generation, and it was pretty successful, I would say. Of course, it was a time where everyone was obsessed with motion controls. That was when the Wii had just came out, so everyone, PlayStation, Xbox, they were trying to look for an answer of how they could respond with their own sort of similar thing, but not too similar to infringe on any copyright. So Xbox had the Kinect, PlayStation had the PlayStation Move, which just looked like this weird bulbous light bulb at the end of a controller. a wand, if you will. Now, the original Kinect was actually so successful, it became the fastest selling video game accessory of all time at that point in time. And that was at a time when the technology for the Kinect was sort of in the beginning stages. It really wasn't even that good. The tracking was a little bit off. The voice recognition was definitely a lot off. And in 2013, they launched a more refined version of the Kinect, the more powerful version of the Kinect. And I thought it was really awesome, but here is the problem. They bundled it with Xbox consoles. They pretty much forced you into buying the Kinect, even if you had no interest at all. It was part of this weird direction where Microsoft's trying to take the Xbox One and make it into more of an entertainment system rather than a gaming system, wherein you would use your Kinect to navigate through your different cable channels, to activate other parts of your entertainment system, adjust the volume, yell at your Xbox to turn on and off, that sort of situation. Overall, a bad move to bundle it with the Xbox One. At the time, the PlayStation 4 was only $400, and the Xbox One was, with the Kinect, $500, and that had people saying like, why would I spend the extra $100 on something I have no interest in using? And people at the time were also really concerned that Microsoft was gonna be spying on you through the Kinect's camera. It was very strange. But that version of the Kinect, the second generation, was actually very impressive tech-wise. It had these fancy infrared sensors that really mapped out everything. It could recognize faces and voices, which is at this point pretty standard tech on your iPhone or something like that. But at the time, that was pretty impressive. And on top of it, it was actually super fun. I have very fond memories, like I've said in the past, of playing Just Dance, using it to play Skyrim. I could yell Fustrada at my Kinect and it would do it in the game. I could yell, instead of going in and changing my weapons, I could be firing with a bow and say, switch a sword, and it would switch a sword and I would be back in the action. It was awesome. It was also pretty cool for the younger generation of gamers, right? A great family thing, if you will. And because everything was connected in your entertainment system, your Kinect controlled all of that. So if you said Xbox turn on, everything that was in your entertainment system would light up. It was glorious. But as cool as I thought it was, as fondly as I remember it, it was just never meant to be. But it would be awesome if they brought it back for a third generation. We already know that because of VR technology, that there is still people that want to use their whole body as the controller, which is what the Kinect excelled at. And it definitely would be a lot cheaper to have a Kinect versus investing in, I think the cheapest VR that you can get is $300. The things that Kinect was doing with the facial recognition, with the voice recognition, what that could look like now with the tech that they have. But outside of the whole motion control stuff, which is very fun, of course, unlike VR, the headset, the controllers, the Kinect has a lot more utility when engaging in other aspects of the Xbox. I remember using my Kinect back in the day when I was streaming directly from my Xbox. That could have a lot of utility too for people who don't have capture cards, who don't have PCs, and they want to stream directly from their Xbox to Twitch. Anyways, guys, today's free lunch day at work. We ordered Five Guys and it's been sitting for a little bit while. I have to go and wrap this video up. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at StayXboxReady. My giveaway is also live down in the description. You'll find a link with instructions on how you can win your very own Series X from me. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.